Hello third graders, welcome to my home studio and welcome to your art class from home. Today we're going to be learning about finding little details in plants. So in this video you're going to learn how to find and how to draw little details in different parts of the plant. We're going to learn about the parts of the plant we're going to see over here, and then in the first part of the video I'm going to show you how to use all of the pictures in here to find those little details, and I'm going to make it very clear for you. In the second part of the video, I'm going to show you how to use a magnifying glass or a cell phone or a camera or a tablet in order to see all those details bigger and be able to draw them in big detail. Let's go to the class. Okay guys, when you open the link in Google Drive, you're going to find all of this over here. So I'm going to show you what this folder contains. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. The first thing you're going to notice is that I have a picture over here with the parts of the plant. We're not going to study the plant like biology or anything, but we're going to study the part that we can see. We're going to do an artistic illustration study. So we're going to focus on the stem, or how on all the structure of the plant. We're going to focus on the leaves, and we're going to focus on the flower. Okay, and now remember that the flowers have different parts also. So for example, we're going to focus over here on the part that we can see of the plant. For example, this part inside we don't care about, but we care about the parts outside. So for example, we care about the stamen, the petals, and the sepals. Now, when you go to this folder, you're going to find different parts. You're going to find branches, leaves, petals, sepal, and stamen. So I'm going to go all the way from here. So in the branches, we're going to see how the different parts of the plant connect together until they go all the way to the leaves. Okay, they connect in different ways. So you see this one over here, it connects in different parts, kind of a zigzag shape. This one over here are different. You see that they are a little bit more, they have little knots around everywhere. In the next one, you see how it makes, again, like a little zigzag, and you see how the leaves are connected. But you see that how they are one here, then one here, then one here, then one here, different from the first one. Now when you go to leaves, you're going to see how the leaves connect to the center of the leaf and how they go out this way. Also, you're going to notice how the leaves are different in the borders, in the edges. The edges are completely different in the different leaves. For example, over here you see how the connections over here, the little veins, are more disorganized than the first one, and they are kind of like real human veins, pretty much. Okay, over here is more organized, but again you can see inside here how they connect. You see this border over here this is a leaf again. You can see how the edges are very curly. Sometimes the leaves are very little leaves going out from different parts, or sometimes you can see how they are like a little saw over here, similar to this one. You can see the little saw over here, the little teeth. And this one is a very beautiful one. You can see all the veins inside the leaf. Okay. Now we'll talk about the petals. You will notice how the petals have these little also veins coming out from them, and they are not necessarily all one color, and you can see how they curl sometimes in different parts. Other times you're going to see how they have like little lines coming out from them, like little straight lines of the way, this like here. Okay, and sometimes you see how they also look like kind of veins coming out from the center of the petal. Okay, this is more like, again, little veins. You can see how they curl this way. And this is a petal in a very, very, very microscopic view. Okay, now the next part is a part that normally people ignore when they draw flowers, but it's called the sepal. Basically, the sepal is the part that connects the pistil and the flower. So this is what contained the flower before the flower grew. So this part over here is very nice to draw when you draw a flower. Okay, this one over here has a lot of little hairs, so it's important that you pay attention to what you're doing, to what you are observing. This one over here is very little peaks. This one over here curls down a bit. This over here is in 5 parts and curls down. This one over here is made out of little different parts. And the last one is also made of little parts, but they are all together. So they are very different kinds of sepals. And finally, we have the stamen. Okay, the stamen is basically the center of the flower. So they also come in different ways. For example, this one has little parts all around coming out. This one over here is made out of different filaments and anthers over here, very distinguishable, many of them. This one over here also, you see the filament over here and the anther over here. This one is made out of different little, only the anthers over there, all around, little dots. This one over here again, so very different, with little parts coming out, and you see the pollen over here. This one again, the little filaments and a lot of anthers over there. And finally this one, you see the anther over here is very long with a lot of pollen over there. So guys, for this activity you're going to need different elements. You're going to need, of course, plants. These plants, I took them from the street basically, but you can use any plant you have in your house. You don't need to take them out, just use them from where they are. You need color pencils, you need a pencil, an eraser, and a piece of paper. And of course, you're going to need a magnifying glass, or you may need a camera or a cell phone or a tablet, something that you can have a camera with and that you can use with a zoom, okay, that you see over there. So what you're going to do with your camera or with your magnifying glass or any kind is you're going to go very close to the subject you want to draw. For example, I want to draw this yellow flower, and I'm going to get very close, or I'm going to zoom in this case, before the subject, what I want to draw, loses detail. When I have the subject that I observe and I can see it very well, I can see all the details, I'm going to draw only one part of that object. For example, I'm going to draw the pistil, or I can draw the stamen or the petals, any part you want to draw, and you're going to draw them in detail. Okay, let's say I want to draw this petal over here, this flower over here. So I need to see all the details that it has. I need to see how the stamen looks like, how the pistil looks like, or how the petals look like, and I'm going to draw them in detail, just one of those, okay? One of the things I wanted to do was to take a good picture of my character, but I still have it over here. You see it over here, it's very little, but I still wanted to have my character over here to see all the details, okay? If you can zoom it in, but if you don't have this, you can use a magnifying glass or anything that is better for you. The idea now is I'm going to draw this subject with as much detail as I can. In this case, I'm not going to pay attention to much more, but I'm going to pay attention to the pistil over here, so to this part only. I'm going to draw everything a little bit, but I'm going to pay attention especially to this part because I think it's very, very nice, okay? So I'm going to draw it very quickly, and I'm going to show you when I'm done. So guys, the first thing I did was I drew the main shape of the flower over here, and I pay attention especially to these little flowers that I see over here, and I simply drew like little dots, like little circles everywhere. Basically, the idea in this case is I'm going to turn later every one of these dots into one of these little flowers that I see over here. It's always important to keep your subject here, because some detail that you cannot see in the picture is maybe you can see it in the real flower, in the real object you're going to draw. Now the idea is I'm going to start drawing every detail as best as I can, possibly not perfect, but I'm going to try to draw it as best as I can. Okay, so this is pretty much how my flower looks like when I finish drawing all of the little flowers inside. I realized that every little flower had 5 peaks, so I tried to draw pretty much little stars everywhere. This is pretty much the final result of the drawing flower. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start coloring. I'm going to use orange, and I'm going to use yellow to start coloring, and then I'm going to shade the flower. Thing to do after you outline all of your picture is you're going to start shading. I'm going to start using my yellow color, and I'm going to do a soft yellow color everywhere, just everywhere. I'm going to color normally. I'm going to show you now how it looks. Okay, now that I color everywhere, it's time for shading. So the next thing you need to do basically right now is to color from the bottom to the top, because in here the bottom is darker and the top is lighter. So I'm going to color from the bottom to the top. I'm going to color from the bottom to the top, every time lighter and lighter and lighter. If you only have one color, you're going to choose this ochre color, different from this one for doing the shading. But if you only have one color, with the same color you have, you're going to color from the bottom to the top. So this is how it looks like. So you're going to color every time. You're going to start dark over here, and then going to go every time lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter to the top. Possibly you have to do it in different areas, so from here to here, from here to here, until you get your shading. So a dark area in the bottom in this case, and a lighter area in the top. Okay, if you need to use other darker colors to do your shading, you can do it. If what you have here is enough, that's also okay. So I'm going to work a little bit more in here. I'm going to put some darker colors in between the flowers. I'm going to put brown between the flowers, and I'm going to show you the final result. Up using these 4 colors. I use the orange for the outline of everything, then I use yellow, this yellow for coloring all the flower, then I use this one for the shading, and I use this brownish color to color inside the flowers. In your case, what you need to do again is color the outline, and maybe with the same color do the shading. Okay, so remember, choose one part of the flower and try to do all the drawing, paying attention to all the details. And when you pay attention to all the details, draw them and then color them and shade them. Okay guys, so this was everything for today. So I hope you enjoy watching the plants around your house and drawing them and shading them. So see you next time. Bye.